Congressman Michael Burgess from the great state of Texas joins us. He serves on the House Energy and Commerce Committee. Congressman, thanks for being with us this evening.
Judge, thanks for having me on.
All right, Congressman, why did the president reject the Keystone Pipeline project?
Oh, well, I think he rejected it for political reasons. He was playing to part of his political base, but frankly, I don't understand. And, you know, if we think back a couple of years, I cannot believe Bill Clinton would have rejected this same deal had he been in the same situation with rising gasoline prices and an opportunity to bring them down via the approval of the Keystone project.
Well, you know, Congressman Jay Carney, White House press secretary, this week said the fact is the Republicans essentially forced the administration to deny the permit process because they insisted on a time frame within which it was impossible to appropriately approve the pipeline. And then Jay Carney goes back to say again, this is all the Republicans' fault. He says the process ended the way it did. It's wholly the responsibility of Republicans who insisted on playing politics with the payroll tax cut extension back at the end of the year. Does that make sense to you?
No, it doesn't, because the fact of the matter is the Keystone Pipeline project started the approval process in September of 2008 when a previous administration was in the White House. Then they've had 3 years to evaluate this. And my golly, the documents were piled head high in the committee hearing that we had on this. The documents compiled by the State Department doing their due diligence on the environmental aspects of this. This thing had been in the works for years. And in fact, we were told during the summer of this past year not to do anything as trying to push the approval of the Keystone Pipeline because the State Department was already ready to approve it.
Wow.
And it would not be necessary for us to pass any additional law to enhance it. So this is all just fabrication on the part of the press secretary, I think.
But you know, it doesn't make sense, Congressman, because besides the fact that 20,000 jobs would be created at a time when we are in such economic distress, for the president to say no to something like this, it doesn't make sense. But in addition to the jobs, why are the Republicans so keen on making sure this happens?
Well, it is a jobs program, and the Republican Congress was criticized by the White House for not enacting his jobs bill. But, Mr. President, here's a jobs bill that could happen literally within the next week if you would just agree to it. And 20,000 jobs, who knows what the actual number is, but there are likely to be spin-offs or secondary employment that occur as a result of just the construction of the pipeline, never mind the refining jobs that would be created in my state of Texas when the actual product gets delivered.
What is the president's plan, very quickly, Congressman? Does he even have one?
Well, you know, in his speech that he gave on this, it was so discouraging because prices are high for a number of reasons. It is a multifactorial response, but we all know that speculation does play some role. But President Bush showed us in the summer of 2008, the minute he said, I'm going to expand offshore drilling, the price came down. And
right.
Why? Because the people who had put their money in speculation on futures contracts realized this might not be as stable a bet as we thought it was, and so they backed off. And as they backed off, the price reduced. This president, I think, should do everything, take that lesson to heart, do everything in your power to show that the supply is going to be increased, and watch what happens to the price.
Oh, yeah. It's not going to be good. Anyway, Congressman Burgess, thanks so much for being with us this evening.
Thank you, Judge.